Hey everybody, welcome to Mishcha Gardens. It's been a while since I've made some videos. 2020 has been kind of a crazy year for us. It's been busy. We had so much stuff going on. We had different weather. We had a heat wave that kind of destroyed some of our garden. A lot of our trees died because of that. Even a big evergreen tree. So a lot of things have been going on, and between COVID and everything, it's just we just didn't have time. I just literally did not have time to do videos and edit them and get everything completed and produced for that. So I apologize for that, but I'm hoping I'm gonna be back on track now, and maybe it's get some videos going showing you what's happening around our yard, around our garden, and just overall what's going on in our life. So it's I believe 7th or beginning of December right now when we're making this video, and honestly it's winter, so there's not much going on. And this week the weather is just terrible here in the Pacific Northwest. I mean, it's like in the 40s and rain, feels like upper 30s, and it's just cold and wet. So today it's a little bit better, and I'm kind of out here, just want to do a video, show you what's happening, and what kind of things were planned for this winter, for the spring of next year. And probably we'll be doing some woodworking in the next couple weeks because Christmas is around the corner, and with the weather being like it is, there's a lot of stuff that needs to be done in the house as well as in the shop and with our woodworking projects. So we'll be having some videos of that coming up, so stay tuned. But for now, we'll just for today we'll probably walk around and show you where we're at and what's planned, and maybe do some work around the garden a little bit, just getting some stuff prepped. So here we go. Let me show you what we did over the year, over the summer today, and get maybe some ideas from you guys what we should do in this new area that we just cleared up. All right, so many of you guys saw this garden that we put in, I believe in 2019. It's been working out great. We had really good success with growing things in here. You know, it's the southern side, so we get good sun exposure. But behind this garden, there's used to be like 4 trees over here, and just a bunch of different bushes and overgrown with weeds, and just covered up, and we just couldn't do much with it. So this year I had to change our approach in the front yard because the approach was destroyed by the previous owners, and with all the rain and everything, we actually pulled out a whole bunch of roots out of there. So while we were doing that, my friends who were helping me do it, they had an excavator, and we cleared all the brush and everything out of here. After that, I kind of planted a little border here. That was back 2 months ago. We got some trees on sale and Lowe's, and we were able to get a little bit kind of a privacy. Hopefully eventually we'll have some privacy fence around here. But this area here that I have, I wasn't sure. I'm not sure, still not sure what to do with it. Eventually I was gonna have kind of like maybe 4 rows of grapes, table grapes growing. I kind of like the look as well. It'll match with the rest of the garden area here. But then we were thinking of maybe doing some grass over here. I don't know. We have a bunch of grass on this side of in the front of the house. So, and this is not really that much of an area for grass. You can't really do much with it. I know for sure that I'll be planting at least a row of grapes right kind of in line with those espaliers trees, as well as the garden over here. So I have my apple trees. Let me just walk over there. Apple trees that we planted 5 years ago, and they've actually produced really well this year. So they kind of separate the garden from this grass walkway that we have, and there's still apple hanging on them. We need to harvest them probably fairly soon. We've been harvesting and baking with them. So I know for sure I'll be making this row, but with grapes further on over there. Now, beyond that, I don't know if I'm going to be doing grapes or what I'll be doing. We still have to clean up this garden with the dead flowers. I was in the process of cleaning this. As you can see, when I got sick with COVID and I was out for a month, so we have to clean this up. I have to cover this because we seeded some vegetables in here, just a salad mix, and it's actually doing really well. It's all up and out, and a lot of it is growing. So I have my hoop house that I can do here, which will help it grow, and hopefully we'll have some fresh salad throughout the winter. But otherwise, this area needs to get cleaned up ASAP, as well as our strawberry fields. So this is something that I have to do. I don't know if I'll do it today or not, or I'll be working in the shop. But I did plant garlic. I started planting garlic November, basically on Black Friday was the day I planted it. And I planted that first row, second and third row, and I still have a bunch of garlic, so I'm thinking I'm gonna plant another row of garlic here. I want to increase our garlic production quite a bit, but I haven't had a chance to do it. So the garlic that I planted, the first row, it's already coming out. You can see the little, let me see if I can focus on there. The little green spot, green shoots are coming out. And I have about 200, I want to say 250 plants or garlic heads in here. 200, about the same in each one. So overall, we're close to 700 plants so far, but I want to get more in there. And again, this needs to be cleaned up. All of this area needs to be done, and there's just a ton of work. So now going to our backyard, there's not much happening here. We have a couple trees. This plum tree that I have here, this needs to be removed. It needs to go. It doesn't produce, and it's right in the middle, and it's just we don't get any plums. I mean, we might get one or two plums on it, and that's it. Otherwise, our raspberry needs to be cleaned up, and everything, old raspberry needs to be cut out, and then the new ones need to be, new shoots for the next year need to be tidied up on the rows. But otherwise, everything here kind of remains the same. Apple trees eventually will have to be pruned a little bit later, maybe in February or so. And then I got this metal. This metal actually is going to go on the chicken coop, and the wood needs to go in the shop for the winter to get protection from all the rain. That's something that I have to do, but I can never get to it. And future project, a greenhouse in here. I don't know when I'll get to it. It's been sitting here for a year now, but or 2 years now, so maybe one day I will get to it. Who knows? One thing I do have to address this year, and probably fairly soon, is this fence that we got. This is the area where we keep our meat chickens, and we have a 3-foot chain link fence here that we had. And this fence here, this year we had a different breed of chickens, and they would fly over constantly and get into the garden, destroy the garden. It just got so annoying that you get disappointed. You don't want to do anything with them anymore, with a garden and anything. So I need to put a taller fence, probably 5-6 foot. And then we bought some, I believe it's a laurel, cherry laurel or some sort, that we're going to be planting in front of it. That will give probably 3-4 feet of height, kind of protect from the dust and everything that's going to be going towards the house, as well as planting some bushes over at the fence area over there, just to give some privacy for the neighbors and for ourselves as well. We have a mobile home park that's right behind us over there, and it's actually, everybody's really friendly, and so, but I want to give it some protection from the chickens for the neighbors there as well. We bought some bushes back in October at Lowe's. They were on like 75% clearance, and after that I got sick with COVID, so I couldn't do anything, but they're just sitting here right now. So this is kind of what's happening, what's going to be going on in the next, I don't know, maybe a few weeks here that we'll have to do, but I just got to get around and get it done. With COVID being out of our house, everybody's kind of getting back on track, getting things done, and getting things prepped. I'll probably work in the garden, planting another bed of garden, preparing it. It seems like it's going to be a decent weather today, so let's go ahead and get that done because our garden is hanging in our garlic is hanging in the garage, and it's actually not the best idea because, well, let me show you. Okay, so we had our garlic hanging in the garage by the kind of a string that we made him, tied him up, and the thing is, it doesn't get warm in here, but it's not a really dark spot. So if you look at the garlic, a lot of it's starting to root over here. You know, you can see these tiny little roots. I don't know if I can focus in there, but right there that it's starting to root. And I think what we need to do in the future is store it in a darker place where it's going to be not as much light, because we have a window that's in there. So even if I turn all the lights off, it still gets, you know, here it is. You can see on this garlic, as if I peel it, it's starting to root on us. So I'll probably be planting most of this out. I'll keep some for our consumption, but I've planted a lot of it out. This is the garlic that I purchased and we actually grew in our yard, and I'm replanting. This is the first time I'm able to grow enough garlic that I can replant and actually double the amount of garlic I'm going to be growing for next year. So this bed was the easiest bed for us to prep, had no weeds. I like my garlics in straight line, so I use a piece of wood, make holes, just plug it in, plug the garlic into those holes, and off we go. Well, there we go. The garlic has been planted. I didn't show you all the process because it gets kind of boring, honestly. It's just repetitive. I use that stick and a piece of wood that I make holes. I don't know how about you, but I like my garlic to be planted in straight rows. I do plant it fairly close, about 6 inches apart, which is pretty crowded, honestly, but I've done it for 3-4 years now, and we've had good success with it. The key to planting it close and having a good harvest is feeding it throughout the fall and springtime and summertime, and making sure there's no weeds, giving it a lot of nitrogen. So the end result right here on this bed, as you can see, I put a little small layer of chicken manure over it, and it's not fresh. It's been probably 4 months since I moved out the chickens out of that coop, and it's mixed with wood sawdust as well. So I just put a small layer on these two beds. You can see that it's already wet and kind of being broken apart. That bed is even more, but nitrogen is the key. I planted 270 garlics or cloves in here in this bed, and I used 43 heads. So you can see how fast and how quickly you can increase the garlic yield, or how much garlic you're gonna have. Uh, if you calculate between these 4 beds, I have over 1,000 cloves of garlic planted. That's going to be over 1,000 heads of garlic in the spring. Some bigger, some smaller, but we'll have to wait and see how the results are going to be. So I'm hoping for a good harvest here because I am using 4 out of 5 beds that are in this garden portion, and that's a significant amount of space that I'm committing to garlic. So I'm just hoping that it actually produces really well and we're gonna get good size bulbs. The other key in the springtime and the summertime is watering, making sure it gets enough water. That we will have to install probably an irrigation system here eventually, and change these walkways to a different style. Anyway, so that's kind of the future things that we need to do. For now, it is what it is. Looks like we're gonna have another good day tomorrow. Thank you for watching our video. Subscribe, give us a like, thumbs ups, and we really appreciate it. Kind of gives us motivation to keep on going and doing these videos. And if you have any comments or any questions, feel free to ask below. We'll try answering them as soon as we can. Till next time.